Okay, everyone, so I'm going to talk about habits for 2020. So we're coming towards the end of the year now. Many people are thinking about New Year's resolutions. And let's face it, all of us, both you and me, have got into bad habits in our lives. Now, how can you break those? And what are the best habits to get into for this kind of new economy, new year, and so on? Now, first of all, there's a lot of misleading information. There's a lot of things like the 21-day rule, where if you keep doing something for 21 days, basically it'll become a habit. That's a bit misleading. But what is true is if you get through that early stage, you don't have to rely on willpower. In other words, none of us have to rely on willpower to tie our shoes in the morning, right? It's just a habit. None of us, at least I hope, have to rely on willpower to like brush our teeth or something like that. So once something becomes a habit, actually it's fairly easy to keep to it. I think the key though is motivating yourself with a plan which is big enough to actually get you out of bed in the morning. In other words, if your targets or goals are too low, that's a mistake. Your goals have to be realistic and achievable, but often if you think you can get here, you should aim for here. And now it's a bit more than you think is realistic, because that gives you the motivation really to actually want to achieve goals. But in terms of the best habits, I would say for 2020, number one, important is not to allow yourself to give yourself excuses. Now, as many people say, oh, I'm trying my best, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. At the end of the day, though, markets don't care about fairness, and life isn't always fair, right? So judge yourself on results and not just on how much effort you're putting in. And number two, I would say, though, is read more. Now, I always say this, but it's so true. And even I read a lot, but I want to read more and more and more. The more you read, the more ideas you'll have, the more chance you'll have to succeed. And even if you are succeeding, keep getting better. And that reminds me of number three, which is even if you are succeeding, never be complacent. It's very easy for people, when they start to get success to kind of, put their feet on the table, just don't do anything different. But at the end of the day, there's always somebody there who's trying to eat your lunch. So even if your income has gone up by 4 times, 5 times as a business owner this year, you know what? Aim for doubling next year then. Never rest on your laurels once you've started to succeed. And number four, I would say, is surround yourself with better people, right? It's just a reality that if you want to get fit, you have to spend more time with fit people. If you want to get successful, spend more time with successful people. Spend less time also with toxic people. And also have very specific plans. That's another thing. And finally, I would say, don't procrastinate. If you want to do something like invest, like read, or anything, do it now or as soon as possible. Because if you give yourself an excuse to delay, you'll never get it started. Okay, everyone, I hope next year is productive for you all, and see you next time.